Aaron Judge has been named the American League MVP for the second straight year and third time in 4 seasons. Anyone saying Cal Raleigh should have won? Sorry, but no. Aaron Judge was the rightful American League MVP this year with an exclamation point. I know what some of you are thinking because of my Yankees fandom. If you've seen enough of my videos, you know I'm very critical of the Yankees, and I've been able to tell it how it is when Judge was not getting the job done in the playoffs. In this debate though, I just really don't see how Cal Raleigh has a leg to stand on, and I don't care if he hits 60 home runs. Not when he hit just 247 for the season. The only stats Cal Raleigh actually outdid Judge in were home runs and RBIs. That alone should not determine who the MVP is. Certainly not when Raleigh only hit 7 more home runs than Judge in 7 more games played, while Judge hit for a significantly better average and on-base percentage. If the home run total really was everything, why didn't Mark McGwire win the award when he hit 70 home runs for a whole season? Or when he hit 65 the very next season? Oh, because his team didn't make the playoffs? Well, I've seen it plenty of times where the MVP didn't get to appear in the playoffs. Raleigh's 60 home runs are the most by a non-MVP on a playoff team. Cool. Still, as far as I'm concerned, hitting the most home runs was never the main objective of baseball throughout the history of the game. The main objective of baseball is to score runs, right? How do you get more opportunities to score more runs? Accumulate hits. That's why batting average still matters a lot, no matter how much the league-wide batting average has gone down in recent years. It's not an end-all be-all stat, but it matters. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. Aaron Judge winning the batting title while hitting 53 home runs on the season got him to lead the league in runs scored this year and helped his team score 83 more runs on the season than the Mariners did. The lowest batting average we've ever seen in MVP post was when Shohei Ohtani hit 257 in 2021, but being a great pitcher who hit 46 home runs and stole 26 bases on the season got him the award. 1. Cal Raleigh is not a pitcher. 2. He hit under 250 this season. On the other hand, Aaron Judge not only won the batting title, but he also led the league in on-base percentage and slugging percentage. Raleigh didn't have a good enough on-base percentage or slugging percentage to get his OPS up to 1,000. Raleigh's OPS plus and WRC plus on the season was an impressive 169 and 161 respectively, but Judge's OPS plus and WRC plus was over 200 for the 3rd time in 4 years this year. The argument that Cal Raleigh is a switch hitter who hit 60 home runs, I guess Mickey Mantle should have won more than 3 MVPs since he previously held the record for most home runs by a switch hitter. He didn't win the MVP every year he led the league in home runs. In his prime, he was never a low average hitter either. Being a switch hitter is an impressive thing to be able to do because most people aren't capable of it at any level, but it shouldn't really hold a lot of weight when making an MVP case. Especially when you hit just 231 from the left side. Even if most of your home runs came from that side, it's also where he got most of his at-bats. How about the fact that Aaron Judge was intentionally walked a little more than twice as much as Cal Raleigh? Opposing teams obviously feared Judge more than they feared Raleigh. When Judge missed some time due to an injury, the Yankees were 4-6. The Mariners were 2-1 without Raleigh. I remember it like it was yesterday when the Yankees were just a game above 500 and missed the playoffs when Judge missed 56 games due to an injury 2 years ago. And I'm very confident that would have happened again this year if Judge missed that much time again. Judge also had to do more to help his team overcome injuries to other guys. Giancarlo Stanton missed the first 2.5 months of the season. Not that that's a surprise, but that left the Yankees without their second most powerful bat for a large portion of the season. On the pitching side, as much as Max Fried and Carlos Rodon did an amazing job to fill the void for Garrett Cole missing all of this season due to Tommy John surgery, imagine all 3 of them headlining the Yankees rotation though. Cole was still a significant loss as the team's $324 million ace. The Mariners had injuries too, and some pretty significant ones were to their pitching rotation with Bryce Miller and Logan Gilbert. They didn't have to miss the whole season like Cole did, and neither of them were ever as great as a healthy Garrett Cole. With their position players that had to miss time due to injury, none were as significant as even Giancarlo Stanton, who just turned 36 and is always injured. Even while aging and derailed by injuries, Stanton still has plenty of power left in him when he is healthy, and hit 24 home runs in 77 games this year, and it was his 4 home runs in last year's ALCS that made him the ALCS MVP. The Yankees were also without Jazz Chisholm, their other Silver Slugger winner this year, throughout May due to an oblique strain, and they still went 17-9 with Judge hitting .364 with an OPS of 1.251 in that span. You know what else about the Yankees hitting .251 as a team, which ranked 10th, and the Mariners hitting .244 as a team, which ranked 20th? If we took away all of Aaron Judge's at-bats, the Yankees hit .241 as a team. If we took away all of Cal Raleigh's at-bats, the Mariners team batting average is still .244.
Take that for data.
I'm not exactly huge on WAR, but for those who are, Aaron Judge had the best WAR this year, and when it comes to his teammates versus Cal Raleigh's teammates, Julio Rodriguez had the second highest WAR on the Mariners behind Raleigh. He had a higher WAR than Cody Bellinger, who had the second highest WAR on the Yankees behind Judge. Now let's talk about defense, which is Raleigh's strongest argument according to Baseball Savant. Still, Judge had a very good defensive year himself back in his natural position in right field. The gap in defense, just 2 runs according to their fielding run value on Baseball Savant, is not enough to cover the gap in offensive production. As for Cal Raleigh calling games for his pitchers, how much better did he really make the Mariners pitching than they would have been with someone else behind the plate? For the last month of the season, the pitching looked elite, but for the whole season, while having to overcome some injuries, I'll acknowledge that, they were just above average when looking at the numbers. We'll never really know how the Mariners pitching would have done with anyone else calling every pitch behind the plate, but they were just good this year with Raleigh. If being a great hitter and catcher simultaneously really is your argument, and yes, I'm very well aware of the fact that being a catcher is the most physically demanding position in baseball, why didn't Pudge Rodriguez or Joe Mauer win the MVP more than once? Or why didn't Johnny Bench win the award more than twice? Just asking. It can help make a case, but when the guy you're competing with for the award isn't far behind defensively regardless of position and is that much better of a hitter, there just isn't a leg to stand on. Most valuable player doesn't mean most valuable hitter. It doesn't, but it is half the job, and when the gap in defense is just 2 runs in fielding run value regardless of position, that's not enough to offset such a large gap in offensive production. There's also no way Aaron Judge only won the award because he's a Yankee. If he did, then how did Jose Altuve win the AL MVP in 2017 just because he had a significantly better batting average due to Judge's July and August slump and leading the league in strikeouts? Judge still outdid Altuve in all other stat categories that year. In 2019, DJ LeMahieu was second in the American League in batting average. Yes, that matters, but Mike Trout was better in every other offensive stat category, which got him the MVP while playing on a losing team. When LeMahieu won the batting title, had the best on-base percentage, OPS, and WRC plus in the American League in the shortened 2020 season, he still finished third to Jose Abreu and Jose Ramirez for the AL MVP. Derek Jeter, the most beloved Yankee of my lifetime, never even won the MVP. Before A-Rod won the award in 2005 and 07, the last Yankee to win the MVP was Don Mattingly all the way back in 1985. So no, there is no Yankee bias, just stop it. So there you have it. As amazing of a season as Cal Raleigh had to set a franchise record in home runs and lead the Mariners to their first division title since their record-breaking 2001 season, no, he was not robbed of the MVP. It's absolutely outlandish to think he was. Aaron Judge earned his 3rd MVP. End of story. Do you agree or disagree with me? You're very unlikely to change my stance on this, but I'll welcome a debate in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video and you know Aaron Judge was the rightful AL MVP, please consider giving it a like so more people can hear the truth on this subject. Please consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss out. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the team. Links to my social media are down below for my more immediate reaction to what's going on in the sports world. If you're already subscribed, thanks for your support as always. If you'd like to see my most recent video and the one that YouTube recommends, both are up above. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.